राम भाइयों और बहनों, आपका स्वागत है हमारे चैनल वेक्टर वेट्सो 3 पर। विनती है कि आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और वीडियो को पूरा देखें। धन्यवाद।
Welcome to this section in which we are going to explore some features and real world use cases of ChatGPT. Now, like each time, before we get started, I need to show you something that I have purchased the ChatGPT Plus now, and it gives me a lot of access. And before I show you everything that I can do with it, let's see how it looks when we try to actually purchase it. So when you try to purchase ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Go, this is how it looks like. Subscribe to ChatGPT Plus or Go subscription, and this is the amount that it is going to deduct from my account. And here I can put my card or UPI. You have to give your proper billing address. And if you are doing it with your UPI, you have to put your VPA, which is virtual payment address, which is like something that Paytm or Google Pay or any UPI app that you are using provides to you. So yes, you can just copy paste from there. After filling in those details, you have to agree to this particular terms of use and all of this stuff. So you'll be charged the amount and at a frequency listed above until you cancel. And after you do that, you can just click on subscribe. And when you click on subscribe, this is where it takes you, where it gives you the exact amount you need to pay. So yes, it is 19.99 and it has basically a GST of 304 rupees, which makes it exactly 19.99. And if you go for ChatGPT Go, this is going to be certainly different. Now it's up to you if you want to purchase ChatGPT Go or ChatGPT Plus. And even if you don't want to, it's completely fine. And I'm going to show you something that nobody else is going to. So you see, when you are using the free version, sometimes it might just say that it seems like I can't do more advanced data analytics right now. And this is something that you are going to see within this lecture. I was trying to create a raw data set for something that I need to teach in this lecture. But you see, it just straight out refused to do it. But I just told it it's not advanced. So I just literally gaslit AI into working for me. So you can just do that. Free version is also not really bad. You can just work with it. It's really nice. You have already seen that it has given me some really nice answers already without even getting the Plus version or the Go version. So don't worry. You can just work with the free version. Now, the great thing about the Plus version is that it gives me access to a lot of things. So I have access to Sora. I can create my own GPTs, which we are going to see within this section. I have access to Codex, and also I can just switch back to the old GPT 4.0, which I really used to like. Now, there are people who say that 4.0 was definitely much better than ChatGPT 5, but to be really honest, ChatGPT 4 is more optimized version of GPT-4, which just makes it faster than GPT-4. It is multimodal and it is great for general use and analysis. Alright, GPT-5 is basically more advanced reasoning and better handling of long, complex tasks. So yes, there is no drawing comparison between them. They both are good at two separate things. So you know what? I'm going to use GPT 4.0 as of now, but I'll keep changing between the models. Now, if you are on the free version, you only get access to GPT 5, which is also really great. It does all the things for you. GPT 4.0, however, is better at brainstorming. So that's why I'm going to use this version. You might get different answers from the GPT 5, but it's completely fine. It's not going to be too far from what it generates with this particular version. So yes, just work with whatever you have. I'm just going to use GPT 4.0 for my own preference. And there are a lot more things which I get. So I can decide how ChatGPT 5 reacts. So I can have it auto. So this GPT will decide how long it has to think. And we can also shift it to instant. So it's going to answer me right away. And I can also like put it to thinking, which will make it think longer for a better answer. So yes, I have all of these versions. Now I can either upgrade to Pro or downgrade to Go, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to use the Plus version. So yes, all this talk for just the paid versions of ChatGPT. Actually, let's go back to the North Star of this lecture. What we are going to do in this lecture, let's explore that. So in the previous lectures, we have spent time diving deep into these prompt frameworks, these roles, objectives, and context. But in this lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to do completely opposite of that. Instead of just writing one perfect prompt, we are going to learn how we can use ChatGPT to be our personal assistant for a lot of things. So I'm going to teach you a lot of ways in which you can turn ChatGPT into your personal assistant, personal guide, and just an extension of your workspace. And I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking about it. I'm just going to show you these life-changing ways of using ChatGPT practically. But before that, let's just go here. Let's go to our settings. Let's go to personalization and turn on reference saved memories, because this is what we need in order to go forward in this particular lecture. So the first use case of ChatGPT could be that, imagine you are a working professional and you have to take a lot of meetings. And sometimes you forget what all happened in the meeting. You have to, keep it all manually. But what you can do is you can just simply use ChatGPT to have your meeting notes readily available each time you need it. And you can also take help of ChatGPT in order to summarize them, or you could even use those meeting notes to plan what you are gonna do ahead. All right. So let's just see with an example only. All right. So here we are. Now I have some summaries of 6 meetings that I have with my client, which is random. Or and even if you're working with a lot of clients, you can just make a new chart for them and you can have everything saved. So yes, it's really great. So I have these meeting notes from random. Or it is just like any random meeting notes. You just write what are the things that were talked about. So yes, talked about integration again and all of this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also show you the example of prompt priming. I'm just going to send it. So I just sent it and it has all of this, like, it has given me something, but I haven't actually given it a prompt. And ChatGPT is asking me if it should create a consolidated summary. Well, that is not what I want. How I can use ChatGPT with my meeting notes is, what I can do is I can simply tell it to store the following meeting summaries for my client. Well, the spelling of "for" is not right, but yeah, this is random.org. Make sure to track key priorities, project updates, feedback, and any personal notes about the team. I'll need to retrieve these details quickly before future meetings. And let's send it. Now, the thing is that I have sent all the meeting notes together. What you can do is you can just create a chart where you keep all of the meeting summaries stored and retrieve them anytime you want. All right. So this is again complete prompt priming. I've told ChatGPT to just save it. I'll need it later. That's what I'm doing. And whenever I need it, I can just simply say, I have a meeting with random org tomorrow. Please summarize the key points from my stored meetings, highlight their main priorities, recent project updates, any outstanding issues, and any personal notes I should keep in mind to personalize the conversation that I'm going to have with my client. Also suggest 2 proactive ideas I can bring to the meeting to show we are thinking ahead on their loyalty programs in the retail division. This is part of the conversation here. I think it was meeting 5. Yeah, loyalty programs for the retail division, and also long-term improvement for their platform, which is the mobile first platform that they want to create. And if I send it, it's just gonna give me all the meeting notes that I need. So key client priorities, unified dashboard vision, better onboarding experience, mobile first design, and all of that. And if I go down here, suggested document points for the meeting. So start by recapping progress, performance gains, and all of that. I can also prepare a one-page client briefing PDF. All right, I don't want that. But it is also telling me to highlight my 2 proactive ideas: loyalty API integration for retail, automated weekly insights for leadership. All right, all of that. Confirm March pilot expectations, align deliverables early to prevent surprises. All of the stuff that I gave to ChatGPT, now I have it on my fingertips. And I can feed it more notes. So if I am now going into a meeting, I can just tell it what happened, and then it is prepared for the next time when I ask it the same question. So yes, you can use ChatGPT like that. It is a life-changing way in which you can use ChatGPT. Now let's see another life-changing way. Let's open a new chat. Now, before I actually show you how you can use ChatGPT, I want to ask you a question. How often it has happened that you have read a book and you saw a really nice quote and have forgotten about it? How many times has it happened that you are listening to a podcast, you come across something that is really nice, a really nice quote, and then you forgot to pen it down and completely forgot about it? What if you could chat GPT to keep a library of all of these quotes, and whenever you want, you can just reference them? Well, that is how you can use ChatGPT, and it is actually really great. And I'm going to show you some more ways in which you can enhance your experience in maintaining a library of quotes which you come across. What I have here are some quotes which are mostly on leadership. So there is Lao Tzu. I think you would have heard the name there. There's a quote by Rosalind Carter. There is, of course, Robin Sharma. There's also Simon Sinek and a lot of, quotes with really nice quotes. So Marilyn Hewson and all of that. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to send it to ChatGPT. It's going to maintain it for me. And you know what? I can just reference it anytime I want. So yes, prompt priming, giving all the context. So it is saying I have compiled an excellent collection of leadership quotes. If you would like, I can categorize them by theme. You know what? Don't do that. I already have a prompt ready for you. So these are my favorite quotes on leadership from various sources. Summarize the top 5 actionable principles I can apply when managing remote teams. Now let's see what happens when I actually send it. So it will extract 5 actionable leadership principles from my selected quotes and empower, don't micromanage. Okay, that's really nice. So this is some quality every manager should have. And how can I apply it remotely as well? So it is helping me out a lot, and it is again maintaining everything for me. So if I want, I can just ask it, what does Simon Sinek says? And it will tell me exactly what it was. So Simon Sinek's core philosophy on leadership. Leadership is a way of thinking, a way of acting, most importantly, a way of communicating. So this is what he wrote and start with why. And there are a lot more things that it is telling me, but okay, I didn't want that much information, but yes, I can just reference it anytime I want. And not just leadership and not just these quotes, anything you come across, anything nice, you can just save it in ChatGPT and reference it anytime you want. You can use it to enhance how you communicate, and it will help you a lot. ChatGPT will be your personal assistant who will tell you anything that you need to know anytime you want. So yeah, that's really great. And now let's actually give it another prompt as well. Now, since I have already given like ChatGPT all these quotes, what I'm going to say is that these are my stored notes. Obviously these are my stored notes. So from that, what are 3 actionable strategies I should focus on this month to strengthen team trust and communication in a remote setting? So what it's going to do is it's going to read through all the quotes and it's going to tell me what all I should apply in my real life. So you have already shared a rich set of leadership quotes. And firstly, it is telling me lead with transparency and clarity. That's really nice. And a lot of people are saying that. So John C. Maxwell, Simon Sinek, and Peter Drucker, people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. All right. Leadership is a way of thinking, a way of acting. Of course, we have read that right now. And why all of this matter? The second one is foster psychological safety and two-way communication. All right. Again, if you are the one speaking, then you wouldn't be able to hear the voices of the people who are working for you. So yes, psychological safety is important and a two-way communication is also important. So leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. All right. And the next is connect the why behind the work. So again, Simon Sinek, Marilyn Hewson, and Warren Bennis. So good leaders organize and align people around what the team needs to do. Great leaders motivate and inspire people with why they are doing it. All right. So yes, these are the things that I need to manage a team remotely, and it has made it so much easier for me. ChatGPT has made it so much easier for me. Like most of the people wouldn't be able to think like that when they would be reading this code. So yes, ChatGPT is helping out a lot in this particular sense. Now let's see another amazing way in which you can use ChatGPT, and it is related to business. So yes, if you are thinking of opening a business or if you are a business owner, this is just for you. So here I have opened a new chat, and you know what? Let's take an example before I start talking. So here is my particular data. It is completely raw data. And if you are able to understand it, that's pretty great. But I'd still try to explain what I'm talking about. So I have 5 running campaigns for my business right now. And for that, I'm sending emails to my subscribers. So I have 8,000 subscribers, and these are the amounts of email I'm sending per campaign. So email sent for campaign 1 is 3,000. This is the open rate, so 47%, and this is the click-through rate. So people have opened it, but haven't clicked through whatever I'm selling. Now this is for campaign 2, and this is only just for January. I have 5 campaigns there, and there's overall bounce rate. So This is particularly 2.58%, and total unsubscribes that I got, which is pretty sad. I have got 97. Now, this is not real data. This is completely raw data, which I have created using ChatGPT itself. So yes, don't worry. I haven't got these many unsubscribes. And you see, in February, my subscribers increased, but I think there is a sharp fall in open rate and also in the CTR as well. Okay, no, there's no sharp fall in CTR, but yes, I have got less open rate and I have also got some unsubscribed, and this is the data from the March. Now, what I can do with this data is I can just send it to ChatGPT and I can ask ChatGPT to analyze it and suggest me what I can do so that I can have better open rates or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send it and it's going to read something out of it. Here's a detailed email performance analysis. So it has already done the analysis. I did not tell it to do anything. Now, if I had told that this is just a data and I'm going to send the prompt later, it would have done that. It wouldn't have started doing the analysis itself. But yeah, it is doing the analysis right now. And that's a very long analysis, which I really did not need. So you know what? Let's just remove this particular thing. I'm just going to copy paste this again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell ChatGPT that this is raw data. Don't do anything with it right now. Just save it for future reference. All right. So now I have done that. It's not going to do anything. Got it. I've saved the raw email campaign performance data for January, February, and March. I won't analyze and modify anything, but it's stored for future reference. Now let's actually try to reference it. So what I'll do is I'm just going to say that I want you to analyze the trends and suggest what adjustment should I make this month to get on track for my 15% email list growth goal. So let's see what it suggests to me. Got it. Since your email list growth is 15%, now we have 3 months of performance data. I'll analyze the subscriber growth trends and all of that. Okay. So right now the growth is basically 5.7%. You are averaging 5.4% monthly growth, far below my 15% target. To hit 15% monthly, you need 1200 to 1300 more subscribers. And I like, okay, so 3 times more my current pace. At the current trend, you'd add 1300 subs in 3 months, but stay on target. You need that every month. All right. So it is giving me some insights. So opens dipped in February, but recovered in March. Okay, that's good. CTR peaked in February despite lower opens. Now you see all of this data. Now, if you are not from a business background, you wouldn't understand it. But the thing is that it is doing everything that a person from the sales team or somebody who is really good with this stuff would do. But I'm just taking help of ChatGPT in analyzing so much, and it is taking no time for me. It is just making it so much easier for me. So that's pretty great. And this is just one example of how I can use ChatGPT for business. I mean, imagine, like, I'll take another example as well. So, for example, if you are preparing to launch a new product and you have a roadmap already, what you can do is you can just send all your data to ChatGPT. And you know what? I'll take another example as well. I'm not just going to read all of this. So there's a lot of things that it is suggesting to me, which somebody, if I took a freelancer to do all of this stuff for me, they would charge me a lot. But ChatGPT is doing this all for me for free. So that's pretty great. Now, this is just one example of how I could use this in business. And to be really honest, I'm going to take another example as well. So imagine if you are preparing to launch a new product and you have your roadmap ready. You have a pre-launch email teaser and a social media countdown, influencer outreach, and you also have paid ads running the month of a launch. And you have also got your competitor analysis. You have all of the stuff which you need for a launch completely ready. Now, what you can do is you can just put all of your roadmap, your competitor snapshots, and your budget into ChatGPT and ask it to help you refine your campaign strategy. It will identify any gaps and also suggest A/B tests to optimize results. So yes, ChatGPT will make your life so much easier. You need not hire anybody for that. ChatGPT will do all of this stuff for free and it's absolutely amazing. Now, so far, I have talked about 3 life-changing ways in which you can use ChatGPT. But the next one is somewhat personal to me. So nowadays, people are really stressed. They get burnouts and all of that. Working professional, of course, you know. So keeping mental health on check is not really easy nowadays because all of the work and all of that stuff. But what you can do is you can use ChatGPT as your personal well-being guide or well-being companion. And how can you do that? So let's take two examples. So first one, in this, what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to give a snapshot of how I am feeling right now. So I feel drained after every meeting with my client. They don't communicate well about what they want. And after every meet, they want something else. So yes, this is a very realistic scenario in corporate. So actually, let's try talking to ChatGPT. And again, I shifted to 4.0 because I think it is more emotionally mature than ChatGPT 5. But again, ChatGPT 5 is not really bad. You can talk to that as well. And if I send it there, so it says that it sounds like you are dealing with scope creep and communication gaps with your client, both of which can be mentally draining. And it is telling me to diagnose the problem, signs you are experiencing, and why this happens. So, lack of structured communication, no single source of truth for agreed deliverables. You also need to set clear boundaries with the structure, manage expectations proactively. And yes, these are some things that are, very simple. You get to hear this a lot, but sometimes you need a person or even an AI to tell you that. So yes, you can use ChatGPT to be just that one entity you can talk to, you can tell it how you feel, or even you could use it to analyze your emotions. Let's see how we can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a snapshot of how I had been feeling for 3 weeks. And on Monday, my mood was optimistic. And the reason was that I had a productive morning, cleared my inbox early, and so on and so forth. So Wednesday, my mood was distracted. On Friday, my mood was fatigued. My mood was content on the next Friday of the next week, and so on and so forth. So mood energized and all of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send it. Uh, this is my mood snapshot. Don't do anything with it right now. This is what I'm going to tell it. Again, prompt priming. I'm just going to feed information and not tell anything. Later, I'm going to give it the prompt, which is basically this. So, hey, here's a quick recap of my last few check-ins. I'm trying to figure out if there are any patterns I'm missing that might be contributing to stress or burnout. Let me know what you notice and any tips you have for balancing things out a bit better. So yes, I'm using ChatGPT to understand my own patterns and seeing if there is something that I might be missing, but it can see that might be contributing to stress or burnout. And let's see what it might suggest to me. So got it, Kunal. I have looked at your mood snapshots and this is what it is analyzing. So on Mondays, I am generally positive and motivated. On Wednesdays, consistent midweek tips happens to everybody, nothing new. And on Fridays, emotional release and recovery. So, firstly, I was fatigued, then I was content, and then I was relieved. All right. So, let's see. Likely burnout triggers. So, unstructured midweeks. All right. I am having a slump in the midweeks. Excessive context switching, especially on meeting heavy days. All right. Cumulative fatigue. So especially when sleep and mental resets are missed. All right. I have mentioned that I wasn't sleeping properly. I couldn't sleep. So this might be a reason that, I could have a burnout. And it is telling me other things as well. So practical strategies to balance things out. So optimize Mondays, block focus time, stack similar tasks, schedule lighter meetings, and use energy reset micro habits. Okay, so it is suggesting me some really nice techniques. Client stress management. Since you mentioned earlier that your client meeting drains you, all right, okay, it shouldn't have referenced the previous memory. But again, if you start this, if you do this from fresh, you're not gonna have this, but it's gonna give you some other thing that you should think about. So yes, pre-align expectations, and this is suggesting me just for me. So that's pretty nice. And the next step, optional if you want, I can build a personal energy dashboard. It can also show me visual trends for optimism, fatigue, stress, and recovery. It can pair it with specific habit recommendations. All right, so this is all that ChatGPT can do for me. But you know what? There is another AI tool which you can use, and it is basically the best for journaling. And I'm going to suggest it to you. All right, so this is an AI tool. Again, it is just a place where you can simply journal, and you can journal with ChatGPT too. But this actually has a lot of moods which even I didn't know before. But yes, you can check it out and you can talk to ChatGPT itself within the app for your own well-being. You can tell it how you are feeling. You can journal there and it will help you chat. And the best thing about this particular app is that it does not share your data with anybody. So yes, you can talk to ChatGPT there as well, or you could just talk to ChatGPT itself. But yes, this is a really nice AI tool which you can use for your own mental health well-being. All right, so this is all related to how you can use AI for your own mental health. Now let's get back to seeing how we can use ChatGPT in other ways, which can help us a lot. Again, life-changing ways, creating an inventory, saving everything for later reference. And this is particularly my favorite thing about ChatGPT is that I can use it to be my personal finance coach. Let's see how I can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new chart, and what I'll do is I'm going to feed it my monthly expenditure. All right. So this is what I'm feeding it. I'm telling that this is my salary. This is my monthly expenses. This is something that you might have seen before when I was trying to gaslight AI. But yeah. So this is my salary. These are my monthly expenses for March. So my rent is 15,000. Subscriptions are these. And what I'll do is I'm just going to say that don't do anything with this data right now. This is a simply data. Again, prompt priming. And here we go. So it's not going to do anything and won't take action on it, this data. All right. Now what I can do is I can just simply tell ChatGPT that this is my expense breakdown for March. My savings goal is half of my salary. So if I'm earning 60,000, I want to save at least 30,000. And I'm also trying to keep a closer eye on where my money is going, because I feel like there are some categories that are creeping up. Now, can you check if I'm on track to hit my savings goal, which I'm not, I can already see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to point out any trends or areas to tighten up for the next month. Also curious if anything stands out compared to my usual habits. Now, the thing is that I am saying this particular thing, but I haven't fed it the data for previous month. I can do this each month and then it would actually start analyzing everything from the previous months as well. But let's see what it answers to me when I do this particular thing. Got it, Kunal. Let's break this down step by step. I'll analyze your March expenses. All right. So this is what is happening. This means you are currently saving 32.8% of my income, which is pretty great. My goal is, however, 50%. To hit my target, I need to reduce expenses or increase income by about 10,300 per month. All right. Okay. So I didn't expect this to be happening, but all right. So rent is 25% of the salary. It is fixed, reasonable, unless there's a chance to lower it, which I don't think is possible. But yeah, subscriptions 2%, low and manageable. Groceries 17%, so a bit high. Scope to optimize, yes, that is doable. Transportation is 7%, which is reasonable. Eating out, which is 10%, on the higher side. Miscellaneous is 6%, and it is telling me to watch this bucket. 67% money is being spent. Let's see the trends and insights which it is actually creating for me. So eating out is creeping up. Of course, I asked it to check what is creeping up. So it is telling me that eating out is creeping up. Groceries also look heavy. Yes, I also believe that 10,400 is a bit high for a medium salary, household. But yeah, buying premium items, often multiple smaller unplanned trips, bulk buying, plus weekly planning could save 1,500 to 2,000. So yes, it is helping me actually being my financial guru. So that's really nice. And miscellaneous spending leaks. So it seems moderate, but if you aren't tracking where it goes, it could hide impulsive buys. All right. Subscriptions are stable. All right. So it is seeing all of that. Now it will give me an action plan for April as well. So to close the 10,300 gap and get closer to my 50% savings target, what I can do is quick wins. So I can cutting out by half. And what I can do is I can review the groceries. All right. So set a soft limit of 8,500. All right. Audit subscriptions, drop unused ones. Makes sense. And it is telling me to have smarter budgeting habits. Now, if you actually ask it from actual financial gurus, they would charge you money for this, which will go into your miscellaneous expenses. But now ChatGPT is doing doing it for free for me. So that's amazing. And let's actually read what it is telling. So comparing to your usual habits from your earlier seconds, you tend to overspend on discretionary categories when work stress spikes. All right. So it is just waffling at this point now. And summary, current savings rate 33%. And I need to make it 50%. Need to cut 10,300 or an extra to close the gap. Now, this is pretty great. And I can use ChatGPT further for this financial guru type thing. I can just ask ChatGPT that my goal is to buy a car. I can tell it what car I am trying to buy. And it will tell me all of the things. It will tell me what I should do so that I can buy that particular car which I want within 2 years. It will either tell me to invest somewhere, or it will tell me how much I need to save so that I can have a down payment and all of that stuff. I can use ChatGPT for that as well. Now, this is absolutely amazing because earlier tracking these things, like before AI, tracking these things and actually calculating them for yourself was a very hefty task, and people didn't used to do it. They just used to pay someone else to do this for them. But now you see, ChatGPT, these AI tools do all of this stuff for me free. You know, I can have everything saved for my reference later. And these are some life changing ways in which I can use ChatGPT. I am cutting out a lot of manual labor by using ChatGPT, and this is absolutely amazing. All right. And I hope that you actually learn something from here and you start using ChatGPT for your own good. Again, there might be some things that you don't want to share to ChatGPT. So for that, you can just open a private chat like this, a temporary chat where it will not share your data. So you can do all your calculations or you can share your plans there. But yes, this is absolutely amazing. ChatGPT is an absolute game changer. And if you actually incorporate these all things in your life, you will save a lot of time and a lot of manual labor, and you will also save a lot of money, which actually involves people doing all of this stuff for you. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this lecture. I hope you understood this well, and I hope you actually start using ChatGPT in the best way possible. So this is pretty much it. I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye.